Welcome to this episode of Selling Education, where today we're going to talk about one of the biggest mental shifts that you can make in sales, even for those that hate the idea of selling. It's this: you are not the hero, you are the guide. Because here's the thing, selling education is about understanding what your audience needs and helping them get there in the easiest, most comfortable way possible. And yes, that means selling, yes, but it's without the cringe, so it feels a little bit better. So why does sales feel so uncomfortable? Let's start with that elephant in the room. So many admissions teams, marketing people, even agents feel uncomfortable with the idea of selling. Quite often they're from an academic background, for example, and they imagine the worst. They imagine that sales is all about pushy tactics and aggressive closing lines, discounting wars, spammy follow-up, and it just feels too manipulative, like it doesn't have a place in education. But most of that discomfort comes from making the process all about you. Your cringe at making calls, your preference for email, your worry that you're interrupting them. These are your worries and they're valid. I'm not saying they're not valid, but they are not necessarily valid for everyone else. You're projecting onto them. And I'd like you to be honest with yourself about these and question your hesitation. I think that you see yourself as someone who has to convince them if you're in sales, or persuade them, bend their arms, overcome their objections, run after them, pester them, interrupt their dinner with a phone call. And nobody really wants to be doing that. No one really wants to be doing the chasing. And it would just be so much nicer if they just came to us and said yes and signed on the dotted line, right? But that's not really the way that the world works today. Well, not for all of us, the majority of us. With the follow-ups and check-ins that you're worried about, you're probably worried that you're going to sound desperate and pushy. You may well be scared that you're going to turn them off. But the truth is, these families, these students, even the recruiting partners that you work with, the feeder schools or the agents or the group leaders, they're the ones making a big and often scary and expensive decision. They are the real hero of this story. And our job isn't to convince them and strong arm them, it's to help them choose well, to show them that you are their guide and support all along the way. So let's flip the script. Think about any good story. There's always a guide. Harry Potter had Dumbledore, Frodo had Gandalf, Luke Skywalker had Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the guide isn't the one fighting the final battle or making the big sacrifice. But they know the territory. They've seen this journey before, much like you have. They are there to help the hero. They're there to help the hero or the student or the family in our case understand the risks, avoid the wrong turns, and get to where they want to go. They appear at exactly the right moment to help them, and perhaps with a little bit less dramatic music in our case, but you get the idea. And that's your role in selling education. You're not there to take over. You're there to ask the right questions, to listen carefully, and give them the confidence and the information that they need in order to make their choice. It doesn't work if you stay quiet and don't help them. And here's why some people sometimes get it wrong. Guiding is not passive. You don't just say, well, here's the info, here's the map, you decide, good luck. And in fact, many people do this. Many people give all the information out and then maybe follow up and say, have you got any questions? But they're leaving it to the inquirer to get back to us. But a real guide, a great guide, and that's you now, keeps them moving forward. They show them the next step, even if that next step isn't with them. They help them avoid wasting time and they make sure they don't wander off down the wrong path. If they know that that school is the right path for that pupil, for that family, for that student, they will help them wander down the correct path. You're not dragging them somewhere they don't want to go, kicking and screaming. There's no fun in that. You're leading them to the destination that they already wanted when they got in touch with you in the easiest, safest, and most reassuring way. That's your job. That's selling education. Okay, so that's all very well, but let's cut the fluff a little bit and let's make this practical. How do you actually do this in admissions calls, emails, events, agent meetings, school visits? Here are 5 things that you can do right now to shift from convincing to guiding, but still effectively coming right up. Okay, so I promised you that I would give you 5 tips to do this right now. Here they are. Number 1, get clear on their destination, not your destination, their destination. Don't assume that you know. Ask questions like, what does success look like for you? What's the most important thing about this decision? What would make this a really good experience for you or your child? You can't guide them anywhere really until you understand where they want to go. And it's not always the education part as the final destination. The education part, just like in your life, is just a chapter in the hero's story. Where they want to go later is what they really want, not necessarily the tools, education being one of them, that they use to get there. Okay, number 2, share your map honestly. A good guide doesn't hide the hard parts. Be clear about what your school or your agency offers and what it doesn't. It just makes life easier as well. Tell them the process and don't hide it. If you're not the right fit, say so. Go and spend time on people that are the right fit. But if you are the right fit, explain why confidently. People don't want hype, they want real answers. Show them the map. Number 3, keep them moving forward. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. This is the part people think feels a bit too salesy, but it's actually essential. A good guide or salesperson or admissions person doesn't let them get stuck. They shouldn't be wallowing around rent-free in your pipeline without some sort of action about to happen with them. So you need to show them the next step. So you could just tell them, you could say, here's what happens next. Shall we organize that? Or this is how we reserve your place. When should we do that? Would you like to go ahead now? Or it could be, I can help you with the paperwork. There are forms to fill in. Let me go through those with you. Because if you don't guide them forward, then they're going to hesitate or get lost, or someone else will help them. So what's it going to be? Also, it's really nice to help people, so it will feel good. But not guiding them forward and not showing them the way, not following up, that isn't serving them or you. Okay, so the other one, number 4, is make the path easy. Don't make them chase you. Make it as easy as possible, a bit like the Amazon one-click purchase or the pre-filled payment details on anything with Apple Pay. Be clear and organized, responsive, but also proactive. Follow up well and have a plan of when, how, and with what you're going to follow up. It won't all be, hello, have you made your mind up approach, or you didn't get back to me, or have you got any questions? But add value. Think of it as adding nurture rather than follow up. What do they need to feel in order to move forward? What do they need to see and hear from you in order to help them make that decision? It's not always going to be nagging them for the decision. It might be they need reassurance, confidence, have a few more questions. They might not even know the questions they need to ask. But people appreciate someone who makes a complex decision easier and gives them confidence to take that step. And number 5, have conviction in your offer. I mentioned confidence earlier, and this is absolutely crucial. If you know that this program or this school is absolutely right for them, don't be shy about saying so. You should have done plenty of discovery about them by now. You should know their motivations. What is their destination? They should know the path, and you're going to bring it back around. So if they attend this particular school or program, it's going to help them do that thing that they wanted to do later on. And that's why you're recommending this. Be convinced in that offer, in that program or that school that you're recommending. Confidence is not pushy, it is reassuring. So don't be shy about it. Say things like, based on what you've told me, I think this is going to really suit you because, or shall we get this booked in so you've just got peace of mind and the decision is made and we can move forward. So have conviction in making that offer. And actually asking is important. Don't just assume they will go, oh, yes, you sent me the information. Yes, please, I'd like to do it. If they do, fantastic. Absolutely love that. But not all of them do. So for those that don't, you have to ask. You haven't jumped through all of these previous hoops, and nor have they, to just let them wander off. And you shouldn't let them do that. You're helping them do what they already wanted to do and they're already able to do because we've done that discovery. Don't let them down now. So the next time that you're worried about being too salesy, don't forget your job is to proactively actually guide them to that destination. Find out what that destination is and help them get there as easily as possible. And that means understanding them deeply and showing them that right path and giving them a gentle nudge and a push and some information and some value. I call it value add in my book to help them move along with confidence. Sometimes your biggest enemy is the fact that they won't make a decision. Not even that they're deciding to go to one of your competitors, but they just won't make any decision. So you have to give them the reassurance they need in order to move forward. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Selling Education. Do subscribe, do like, do share with people that you think might enjoy this, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.